today let's see few of the attributes for @test annotation. Okay, starting with the description attribute. So here I have added description attribute to our test annotation. Okay, so for which method? For Tirupati method I have added the description. Description basically describes our test method, like what is the purpose of the test. In order to see this description in the console, let's execute this once. Here in the console, Tirupati method got executed and our summary shows the total tests run are 10 and passed are 10. Okay, but we do not know the details of what are the tests got passed. In order to get a detailed report in our console, we have an option called verbose. Okay, in my suit tag, if I mention verbose equal to 1, so it is a normal execution. You will be seeing the same summary that you have seen earlier with total run. So if I want a detailed report, next level, okay, just make verbose as 2. Now see the report, how it will be. Now I got my test details and also what are the test methods that got passed. Okay, and even I can see the description of my test method which I have given for Tirupati method. So using verbose, you can get a detailed report. Let me increase verbose to 3. What you observe here, you got the suit detail, test detail, what are the tests got passed, and what are the invoked methods. Okay, so this is next level of depth. By increasing the level of verbose, you can see more detailed reports in our console. Okay, and even we got to see our description also, right, which we have given using description attribute in test annotation. Okay, so till here we are clear with description and verbose. Let's see about timeout attribute in @test annotation. Okay, for that I have chosen Srisalam method and I have added a thread sleep of 1000 milliseconds, but I am giving my test timeout as 500 milliseconds. The meaning of this is, you can just see here the maximum number of milliseconds this test should take. If it hasn't returned after this time, it will be marked as failed. Okay, so within 500 milliseconds, if this test is not completed, then this test will be marked as failed. But I am giving thread sleep of 1000, so obviously this will not complete within 500 milliseconds. Then in our output we should see this method as a failure. Okay, let's execute and see the output. Let's go to the output. See, your Srisalam method got invoked, okay, but it got failed. What is the failure? Method didn't finish within the time 500. Okay, while doing web testing, you can use this by giving some specified time. So saying that the page should load within this much of time, or else you have to fail the test case. Okay, this is how timeout attribute is used. Okay, I think we are clear with timeout attribute. Now we are going to see our next attribute, which is a priority attribute for @test annotation. If you doesn't define any priority attribute to your @test annotation, by default the priority will be equal to 0. The lower the priority number, first it will get executed. For my test classes, now I have added priority numbers. Okay, so just you have to give priority is equal to and number. I have added priority numbers to all my tests. So see here, for this Papikondalu method, I haven't added any priority. So Srisalam, we have priority number 1. Ahobilam, we have priority 2. Okay. Now let's execute and see the output. Okay. Now let's see. So in your invoked methods, you can see the priority number, right? So what is the priority of Papikondalu? Priority of Papikondalu is 0 because we haven't defined any priority over there. Okay, now let's see the output. Papikondalu, it got executed first, which is priority 0. Next, Srisalam, which is priority 1. Ahobilam, priority 2. So like that based on the priority. Starting from 0, it goes on increasing. If you want to order the execution, you just need to define the priority. If it doesn't define any priority, this will get executed in an alphabetical order. Okay, I think we are clear with the priority attribute. Now let's see our next attribute, expected exceptions. Okay, so in Munnar method, I'm just changing the logic for some time in order to see how expected exceptions work. Okay, I have created an array, fine, and I am printing my array elements 1 and 2, means tiffin and fruits will get printed. Okay, so here do we have any exception? No, but I'm saying the method to expect an array index out of bound exception. Okay, so as there is no exception here, our test case should get failed. Okay, let's execute this. See here, we got a failure. Let's go and see what happened. So elements of our array got printed. Then what caused our failure? This method should have thrown an exception of type java.lang.arrayIndex out of bound exception. Okay, it is expecting for an exception, but there is no exception. That's the reason it got failed. Okay, let me go back and say I am trying to get a value 3. So we have only 0, 1 and 2. We do not have any element with index 3. Okay, then this has to throw an error, array index out of bound exception. So this will throw an exception. Okay, now let's execute this and see. So now your test case got passed. You didn't find any error. When you know that a test case will certainly throw an exception, you can use expected exceptions attribute for iterate test annotation. I think we are clear with expected exceptions attribute. Thank you.